Hey seniors, it's Miss Tinty. Miss Christensen and I were reading your narratives and we kept noticing a common thing happening. We are struggling with our paragraph writing, not only forgetting to indent where we push that first line in, but also just making sure that we have what we call topic sentences and all the parts that are important to a good paragraph. So in your Schoology page today, you're going to see a little graphic organizer. It looks like this, and it says parts of a paragraph. So I'm really quickly going to go over what the three parts of a paragraph are, and then I'm going to show you an example. Okay? So the very first thing you need to have is called a topic sentence. Topic sentence. It gives a general idea about what's going to be in your paragraph without being too broad. It has a controlling idea. So when we read this, we kind of get a sense of what you're going to be writing about in that paragraph. And of course, it must be a complete sentence. Now, some of you were making your opening paragraph one sentence with a lot of commas. As you know, especially those of you in ELD, as you know, commas are okay, but you cannot keep on writing and writing and writing. That's called a run-on, and we don't want to see that. So making sure we're putting periods in the right spots. So a topic sentence comes first in your paragraph, gives us a sense of what we're going to learn about. Then in the middle, you're going to have what are called supporting sentences. These need to connect to this. So your topic sentence is going to be first, but this is going to give us the details. They have to be related to each other. We can't just say, I was born in Thailand, and then in the next sentence say, in America, I go to Humboldt High School. Those ideas don't connect. You need to make sure that they do connect, and you can make those two ideas connect, but you need to make sure you have some support. So this gives us information to support the topic sentence. Sometimes it's a definition, an explanation, or an example. For most of you, you're going to find that it's going to be something you're either explaining or maybe that you're giving an example. Like if you talk about coming to school in the United States for the first time, you might give an example of what made that day really hard. Finally, you're going to have the concluding sentence. This is going to restate the main idea of the paragraph. But remember, restate doesn't mean copy this down here. You want to say the main idea, but you want to use different words. You're going to remind the reader of what we read about. And sometimes, if it's the end of the paper, it might give a warning, a prediction, or an opinion. In your case, it might talk about how you have learned from the experience. We're going to have a Google Meet to talk more about your papers, so you can click on this. But before we do that, very quickly, I'm going to kind of make a comparison. Sometimes we call paragraphs hamburgers. It's not because they're tasty. I mean, hamburgers are tasty, but paragraphs are not tasty. But here's how we're going to write a really great paragraph. So think about your paragraph like a hamburger, right? You got the buns, the meat, the cheese, and all the vegetables, maybe some ketchup and mustard. So the topic sentence is the top bun. Here's an example paragraph. There are many reasons that I love to teach. Okay, so that first sentence tells us something. It tells us that we are probably going to learn about why this person enjoys teaching. There will probably be some examples. Notice here that there's a big space. This is called indenting, and we need to always indent the very first line of our paragraph. This tells us what our paragraph is going to be about. It's going to be about why this person enjoys teaching. Then we come down to the details. So we'll think about these details like the lettuce and the tomato and the cheese. Pardon my loud children. So here we see some ideas. First of all, I love to teach because I love being at school, right? This goes along with this idea, why I love to teach. Down here, another reason is that the days go by quickly. This again connects to the first idea, the topic sentence about why I love to teach. And then finally, a third reason I love to teach is because I love seeing a student understand something new. This idea also goes along with what we saw in the topic sentence. The last detail can also be considered the meat. Sometimes we say it's the most important detail. We don't want to give everything away in the first sentence, but again, it's another idea to connect with your topic. So these things in the middle are really just helping you to further describe your main idea. And then, of course, at the very end, we have the closing sentence, which is the bottom bun. It should kind of look like the topic sentence, but as I said before, it needs to be restated in different words. You don't want to just copy exactly what you wrote in the very beginning. It needs to be an obvious end to the sentence. So what that means is after we've read this, we know that your paragraph or your essay, depending on how many paragraphs you've written, is over. Don't leave us hanging like we should be waiting for something else. Okay, I'm going to add this link for you if you want to look back to it to do some more review on what a good paragraph should look like. But for now, take a look at this. Take a look at the feedback that Ms. Christensen and I gave you, and then you can come to our Google Meet and ask us any questions that you might have. Thank you.